Tesla had a surprisingly good quarter despite the whole factory thing being shut down for half of it, delivering 90,650 vehicles within quarter two, which was by far way more than a lot of people were thinking, beating Wall Street expectations as usual. It honestly feels like a lot of people that are doubting Tesla or don't believe that these types of numbers can be reached are not aware of Giga Shanghai. I think that this would not have been possible at all if they didn't put all of that work and have that aggressive timeline towards the Chinese factory, because that obviously has some very healthy profit margins and that has some extremely efficient assembly lines that are able to deliver vehicles very, very quickly. And I think the quarter over quarter growth, despite the factory being closed for 6 weeks, is only possible thanks to the expansion of gigafactories. So to give you guys some comparison, Tesla was profitable in Q1 of this year, which is seasonably a very weak quarter. A lot of people were not expecting them to be profitable, and that was with 88,000 vehicle deliveries and over 100,000 vehicles produced. It's important to see the difference between these two numbers here. It might be a little bit too much speculation on my part, but maybe just looking at the facts here, when Tesla produces a vehicle, they don't get to necessarily recognize that revenue right away. So the fact that they produced over 102,000 vehicles last quarter and delivered 88,000 reflects that there was a bunch more revenue coming in to those already produced vehicles. And now in quarter two, we have 82,000 vehicles produced along with 90,000 vehicles delivered. So because they didn't produce as much as the last quarter, I think there's a chance at saying that operating costs were probably a bit lower because, the Fremont factory being closed, yeah, obviously that sucks. You're not able to produce cars. That's bad. But with it closed for 6 weeks, it means you're not buying as many parts. You're not paying as many people as you used to. So during those 6 weeks, I imagine operating expenses also went down a bit. So the idea of Tesla pulling in a profit in quarter two is now looking more and more likely. And that is, in any year, that would be impressive to see because it's not too common that Tesla is pulling in profitable quarters, but now it sounds like they might have 4 in a row, so a complete year of profitability. But despite that, they also pulled in a profit during the global pandemic, and the factory not being open for half of the quarter is basically like winning a boxing match with your hand tied behind your back. That's what Tesla just did right now. They've been fighting their best fight, and they've been trying to deliver as many vehicles as possible, and now the ref of the boxing match was just like, okay, now you gotta use only your left hand, okay? You can't use your right hand for boxing anymore. And they still knocked out their components because all other auto companies are in massive decline, and Tesla's the only one that seems to be keeping up with demand. And yeah, I know if you want to minimize this accomplishment and just pretend that the pandemic doesn't exist, which I've already seen a few people on Twitter pretending it does, then yes, compared to quarter two of 2019, they did deliver 95,000 vehicles. So if you're closed-minded and not aware of context, which matters immensely, then you would say, hey, it's been a year and Tesla deliveries have gone down. But keep in mind, just imagine how many deliveries there would have been this year if that Fremont factory was open for those 6 weeks that they were closed. And if you want to know what those numbers are like, stay tuned for quarter three, which we are now in the beginning of. Model Y production ramping very, very quickly. Giga Shanghai ramping quickly. And now that the factory is open and ramping cars as fast as it was before the shutdown, we should expect some stellar delivery numbers for quarter three. And because Tesla was profitable last quarter, and I think that the deliveries being higher and Model Y having higher profit margin, Giga Shanghai making up a lot of these deliveries, and they have a great profit margin over in China, I think profitability is looking very, very likely at this point, and that means Tesla getting pushed into the S&P 500. Their stock was shooting up this morning. I know Tesla stock jumps all over the place, so don't freak out if it goes back down again. But as of right now, it is shooting off like a rocket, at least at the time of recording of this video. People finding out that the deliveries were exceeding so many expectations is just kind of proving that Tesla can do things that may seem impossible in the moment. The annoying thing about these stats, though, is that we sadly don't know the difference between the Model 3 and Model Y deliveries. I was seeing some people look at Model Y VIN numbers that were well over 20,000, but Tesla is still bunching Model S and X together at, 10,000 deliveries, and the Model 3 and Y are still bunched together at 80,000 deliveries. So I think it would be really interesting if we could actually see some separation there. How many Model Ys did they deliver this quarter versus how many Model 3s? This is the way Tesla's done it for a long, long time, so I guess that's why they're keeping it the same. But I think in time it would be really interesting to see the difference in how the cars are ramping and how much demand there is for each vehicle. So great work, Tesla. Congratulations on your solid quarter, and keep everyone safe. Keep those social distancing practices in place. Keep sanitizing as much stuff as you can, wearing those masks, just everybody being extra cautious as this factory keeps operating, and can't wait to see Q3. Let me know what you guys think Tesla's going to pull in. Is it still going to be profitable? By hitting me up over on Twitter, join my Discord. We can chat more about it there. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have an excellent rest of your day. Take care.